Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night, wherever you are in the world, whatever time of the world it is. We are reflecting on whichever time you are watching, not however time, whichever time you are watching. You are welcome to this moment of KIDDNAPPA _ the journey. And with me, I have my usual guests that I had previously, if you've been keeping tabs on what we have been releasing of recent. And opposite me, I've got Nara. And
yes, brother. Yes, thank you for having me again. I think last time it was incredible.
That's it.
So I am Nara. We're all about getting your gut cleansed, your system detoxified.
Yeah, you might as well put that for people to see it.
Yes, and and getting your system restored how it's supposed to be.
Purchase it, people, and when you're purchasing it, put NARA 10, which is 10.
Yes, sir.
NARA 10 when you're purchasing it. Right there. And on the other side, we've got Vinny of Maisha London.
Yes, sire. Yes. It's a pleasure. It's great to be back with my friend Nara again. Yeah. And it's a pleasure to be your host, your guest.
Yeah, you need to put that. You need to put that up for people to see, because you did this. And you could speak. You could speak about it.
I've got first-hand information about it. Yeah. I've got stories for days about this thing. Yeah. And they're all good, my friend. Yeah.
Yes.
And trust you me. Yeah. This is the thing.
So you lost some weight with it as well.
Yeah. Like 4 kgs, man. Like. I'm already skinny, so I don't know. Like,
in one day, right?
In one day, man.
There you go. Get your gut cleansed, get your system restored.
And it is what it is, man. Anyway, on the other side of it, I was trying to remember this name. Did you guys see this shooting? Obviously, it's only one country when we talk about shootings, really, most of the time. Her name is Sonia Massi or Massey.
Yeah.
Did you see that shooting?
Yeah, the lady that got shot in the house in the face.
Shot, yeah. She got shot in the face, basically.
Incredible.
Yeah. With the police.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she called the police.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking.
She called the police, and the police ended her life, basically.
Yeah. Honestly,
it's a usual.
She called for her termination, basically, which is incredible.
Yeah, because you
call for protection and you end up getting killed.
Yeah, that's it. And you know what? The interesting thing is, because she had mental health issues, but the thing is, does Africa have the same mental health issues per se when it comes to black people? Is one question I've always wondered.
Yeah.
I mean, there is mental health issues, yes, but is the mental health issues the same as of black people outside of Africa as it is in the Western world, should I say?
I think it depends on your environment, I definitely think there are a high number of mental health issues within the continent in Africa. However, I don't think most of them are diagnosed, or even, there are that facilities to be diagnosed of. However, I do think it's slightly less, because in Africa, you do have the family unit quite strong in most places. And then, socializing is really, really key also. And then you do get that sort of neighborly community love there too.
But, we also believe in the beating of.
Of course, the discipline part also.
Not only even the discipline. Before somebody can think about anything superbly, we already know there's a beating coming.
That's what I mean, the discipline.
Yeah. Okay. Excuse my French, but yes,
the discipline comes from the beating. So
yes.
Yeah, it's hard to separate the two.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I always wonder, because sometimes I sit down, obviously being in London, growing up in London, and then you're looking at how the world kind of is, some of the issues that take place. Like, I also, Sonia Massey is a shooting of the lady in the face, but I also saw a clip of a guy who was just stabbed recently. Not recently, actually. It's all over Instagram, actually. The guys all came out the car.
Yeah,
they all
he
came
was being dropped off by the Uber.
Yes, you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen the video.
Yeah. Have you seen the clip as well?
Initially when I saw the video, I was like, this driver either is in on it or his reactions are so slow. Because I don't imagine myself in a car behind the driver's seat, and something of that sort happens, and I'm not driving.
You will not hit the drive.
It took him almost a whole minute before he drove off.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose he was probably in a panic mode himself.
No, but the thing is about human beings, the panic mode.
It's flight or flee.
Yeah.
So,
but when things happen immediately, that's when you know what to do next. Because that's the word I was looking for. But I was just thinking, what's the word I'm looking for? Adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Adrenaline is a very interesting thing because adrenaline can make you freeze. In a moment where somebody's looking at you thinking, why didn't you duck, hit, punch, do something? Adrenaline is a very interesting thing. So sometimes I even look, even with this shooting, the shooting that just happened,
yes.
I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, you shot the woman for no reason. But what is the reason that you shot? You can't use adrenaline as an excuse.
Can I bring the story closer home?
Yes.
The story in Manchester Airport. Did you guys see it?
Yeah, the one that kicked the guy's head.
The police officer that kicked the guy.
Yeah.
The guy was already submitted. He was already on the ground.
He was on the ground, and he kicked him.
Yeah.
Right in the face.
Twice, not once.
Yeah.
Our environment is making us all sick. It's become almost normalized now for a lot of people. They see it. It's almost become normalized in a way. Which is a shame, really, in our society.
What hurts me the most is how people online, there are some racist people out there. There's some people who are taking this like it's a matter of race or religion. It's not a matter of race or religion. It's a matter of humanity.
Humanity, yes.
You gotta remember one thing, yeah. When it comes to race,
I don't care if
when it comes to race, I'll tell you one thing about race. And if you've you've just started living in London very recently.
Yeah.
We grew up fighting. We grew up fighting. You would know there were certain areas. To be honest with you, nowadays I look at London and I say, you know what, this country is very open to very many different people.
Of course.
Like literally.
Really?
But it's very open to very many different people. Because growing up, there was some things that were said by some people, and you kind of knew, like, hold up, you're fighting a losing battle because you can't beat the system.
Wow.
You can't beat the system. But then when you go into education has everybody in it.
Yeah.
If you go into hospitals, everybody is in there.
Yeah.
So you can't now anybody that wants to start, and I always say, anyone that wants to be ignorant, you're welcome to be ignorant, because the fact of the matter remains, the person that you extremely hate the most is the one that's gonna end up saving you.
Yes.
Is the one that's gonna end up saving you.
Yes.
So you have to be more open. And even when you travel the world, when you start seeing some parts of the world, people are beginning to explore places to live where you would never expect them to be exploring to live in the first place. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So I always say to people, man, you know what? The most important thing, even I say this on Tables Chronicles, my other podcast, where we when I was talking, I was talking about the Kenyan issues actually, because the president who said the Indian people be considered a tribe, and I said that's the most ignorant, most colonialist system I can never think of in any particular way. Because why would you now say India, which is a country which has different people in there in itself, it has a whole different tribes in there, and then you coming in to say that now Kenya can consider Indians a tribe? That's just going to show how much tribalistic you are as an individual, because you should not be even looking at that. Anyone can claim citizenship anywhere in the world nowadays. But we do know that there is certain cultures indigenous to that country. You know what I mean? We know it's there. But then when you start going into start doing this, man, mate, this is a bit ignorant. And to be honest with you, if I was from that culture, I'd tell them straight up, man, shove it. Honestly, there's nothing else I can think of than that, man.
It's bringing it back to race and how, you say people are racist. I where I live, in Hampshire, I always say to people, I haven't personally experienced racism. However, I know the system is racist. We live in the system is pure racist. The individuals that you come across most of the time, they're just ignorant. There's difference between ignorant and racism. And I think that's where we need to talk about as people. We need to be also conscious that no matter what we do, we're not from here. If you're born here, you need to reconnect back to the source.
Roots. You need to go back to your roots.
Because otherwise, you need that break. And I think it's always nice you can go and come and experience different cultures. But it's always important to touch base where your roots are. And then things make sense more and it gives you the clarity. So for me, when I'm going back to Ghana and I'm looking at my Nara cleanse and I'm in my village and I'm working with my uncle, the chief herbalist, I'm a source. I'm at my happiest. but I know when I come back here, I'm going to be facing some challenges. Certain things might not be going right for me because of my complexion. However, I'm always touching base with source. And I think as people, that's what we need to start looking at, you know.
So, but then you see, and I understand what you're saying, and
yes.
I really get that, and I would want that. But then the fact that I'm so touched right now with the people at home, like right now I'm on constant talk with them. Like I've been away from them for almost a year, but I've been talking to them.
You're missing home, then.
I've been talking to them like I'm there, you know.
Yeah.
So to a point that I know even if I was there, I would be like, there's all these things that I would still be fighting. Like even as blacks, you know,
yes.
we have our own issues that divide us as blacks, you know.
Yes.
Like for example, as Kenyans.
Yes.
As Kenyans, we have the tribalism.
Tribalism is something it was something that was introduced to us.
That's something that I know. As much as I know it's not as big as racism, but then to me, I can equate racism to tribalism because I've experienced tribalism. And I know it's all about discriminating someone because they're not something. You know?
You know, you said, what's your tribal background in Kenya then?
I am a Marian.
So Meru.
Yeah, Meru.
So that's Meru people.
Yeah, but then I've been born and raised with the Kushites and the Nilotes.
Which means?
I've been bred up in Isiolo where I have Samburu and Turkana people.
Okay.
And Borana and Somali people, you know. So I have Kushites. I have Kushites and Nilotes, and I'm a Bantu.
Do you understand any of the other languages then, or can you speak any of the other languages?
I bits and pieces
here
and there. But then the thing is, I've experienced tribalism, so I know I can equate that. Whenever someone tells me I've experienced racism, I can only equate to what I've experienced as tribalism.
It's technically almost the same.
It's discrimination, but you know what the difference is?
The thing is,
racism comes into race.
Yeah,
but you see, tribalism doesn't come because I'll tell you why. I was questioning you about where you come from in Kenya. Because when you look at me, where would you say I come from in Kenya?
Somewhere in Kikuyu.
See, you see, which you're not wrong.
Yeah,
that's one part of me.
Yeah.
If I show you my I'll show you my actual full name, so that now you could now see the other side of my confusion. So that you could see the other side of my confusion. That's why because I laugh about it because even last time I was in Kenya, I was sitting down and I remember I can't remember what I was about to pay for with M-Pesa, and I was like, I looked at my cousin and she looked at me and I go, yeah. You know, the usual sentence always comes out when I make payment. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, the face and them, the both of them don't match. But yeah, have a look at that. Don't say it. Don't say
it. What is that?
I wouldn't have thought about it. I wouldn't have thought about it.
You know, I actually like your first name, you know.
Bruh,
yes.
So listen.
It's a good name.
It's a good name. You know, I actually rock with that name, you know. It sounds powerful.
The thing is, it's so not what I would have expected.
Oh, really? Based on how he looks in the name.
No, my name always, it beats up because my father was Kalenjin.
Yes.
Okay.
So that name is a Kalenjin name. My mother is a Kikuyu woman.
Yeah.
Right.
And
what's the difference between those two?
No, if you look at me, I look like my mother. There's
right.
So and everybody, even when I made payment, the lady even looked at me. She goes, "Yeah, I know you've paid." She said, "I was tanking up." So when the lady did it, and she was like, "Yeah, you paid." I said, "Yeah, M-Pesa it." She goes, "Oh, this one." She goes, in translation, she goes, yeah, yes, I got the money, but the face and the name don't match.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It's a common thing. Yes. So it's the same way I said to him, what would you think? You see what he first said?
Yes.
I'm so used to it to a point, even my cousin, I was with my cousin recently and I was like, yeah, I bet when I pay, she goes, yeah, your name, innit? And I was like,
it's not wrong, man. Like,
it's such a thing.
You should get used to it because personally, now, here's the thing, yeah? there's a fine line
Yes.
between embracing, and this is what I said last time, between embracing diversity and like discriminating people because of the diversity.
Yes.
I like embracing that diversity. I've
Openness.
yes, openness. Like I've told you, I come from one tribe that is surrounded by these different tribes. So the people I've grown up with, we've grown up. I cannot speak their language, but I understand their language.
Okay.
When I hear their mothers talking to them, I understand the context of which it's being spoken to. You know, I don't really get the whole thing, but I get it. You know, if they hear my mother speaking to me, they get it. They don't really speak my language, but they get it. You know, we embrace each other's diversity. But then the thing is, when it comes now to ruling and everything else, now systems and all that, that's when these diversity come like into play when it comes to us Africans.
Yes.
Like we are like, we want to benefit us. Let's not benefit these other people. We want to benefit us. Let's not benefit. And that's what brings up this old, even the whites, you know, going back now to racism, it was all about let's benefit this race more than benefiting this. That's why even the newly born white racist guy, kid that will be born, it will be from like a system handed down to them. Like, we have to secure our race first before. That's how I feel.
I will tell you what. You see, when you look at, before you wrap up, there's a.
I love how our conversation just went all the way around. I love the fluidity.
And you know what? The funny thing is, because we were talking about the shooting, I think we'll have the shooting of this lady, and we've gone into a whole load of things. But you know what it is when it comes down to race or racism. You gotta remember there was a time in England. It was. No Irish, no English, no dogs.
No dogs, yes.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah. Because if you even look...
That was the same.
Yeah.
It's a saying.
It's a sign on like...
It's a sign.
You know when you
No
go to
Irish.
estates, they will have like no Irish,
no dogs,
no dogs, no blacks or something along the line,
So it was pure segregation.
It was because you know when it comes
it
to
was segregated, but it was
a level of segregation.
They didn't want you there, did they? But
it was a level of segregation.
But then they were the majority.
No.
The whites were the majority.
No. It's not. So when you look at
Irish
English,
are whites too, technically.
No,
but,
when you look at the English society or the British society, the one place that they've never ever accepted to a level, and I probably would get slaughtered for this by the internet, but the Irish people, that's why if you look at Irish, it's a whole island, it's a whole country in itself. But then Northern Ireland is the UK.
Yeah.
But where is the location? When you want to look at the history of the country, you realize this here is a different war that you want to open up. Because Northern Ireland has English people that live there.
Yeah.
Right? And you also now have Irish people living there. So now you have a country, and it's a whole different island, it's a whole different country, but it's under the control of the United Kingdom, right? But then you've got the Republic of Ireland, which is the other states down. But then if you look at Ireland itself, and they tell you, when anyone tells you about Ireland in itself, they tell you Ireland, you look at Ireland and think, okay, what is Ireland? Ireland is the Republic of Ireland, isn't it?
Yeah.
And as it is a Republic of Ireland, boom. It's the Republic of Ireland, but then the Northern Ireland is not recognized under the Republic of Ireland. It's a bit mad like that, man. For a long time, the Irish were even, you listen to Jamaicans when they say certain things, or you ever seen certain Jamaican names?
Yes.
And you ever wonder where the names are coming from?
Yeah, you sort of wonder, isn't it? But I don't. I'm not far by that deep.
Can it be from the Irish, really?
A lot of Jamaican names, you be in Jamaica, somebody's called O'Neill.
Yeah.
O'Neill is an Irish name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. When you listen to, when a Jamaican says 3, what do they say? Tree. That's Irish. That's Irish.
Come think of it, Actually,
no, Irish people, that's Irish.
The Irish accent in my head, and I play it alongside the Jamaican accent.
No, there's a few words
but
that
then
you hear.
You can feel the.
You can hear it.
We borrowed a lot.
From when they did the slave trade or whatever business, it's the Irish that were speaking English to the Africans that were sent there at the time.
Oh, okay.
So that's how the dialect,
lingo,
the certain words. That's how certain words and the names have been taken in to some perspective. You understand? Which is a bit weird. Because when nobody ever tells us about this. But when you look at it, you're thinking, hold up. Because I've met a few O'Neills and a few Fitzroys who are Jamaican. And I'm like, how you got such an Irish name?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I never did question it before. But this one day I was just looking at it, I was like, yo, how is it possible? And then somebody told me, you got to remember, the Irish were put in Jamaica as indentured workers at one time. So that's who was now introduced in
back
the
then
English.
there was no, even before then, way before, whites and black were both in slavery. And the concept of color was all introduced in control, really, because there was no such thing as white or black. And technically, if you look at white people, they're just a different shade of brown. A white person, I see the
true.
inside, if you look at my shirt white here, what I've got in there, it's not the same as a white person.
It's just the same as saying black.
Look at Kids Top, you know what I mean? Like, your black is,
it's all a bit quite...
It's colorism, and I think when you go over that, and then you connect spiritually, you will connect with people who resonate with you, rather than just going through the motion of black and white. There's some black people who don't like some black people.
No. That's a story.
But equally, there's a white person and a black person don't like, or a black person.
The interesting thing is because you were talking about the tribalism that's back home, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We will talk about, if we're in London right here. There was a time you hear there's an African person here and there's a Caribbean person. There was always a bit of a split at one point.
Yes.
There was
no unity.
Finally we've got together and we reacted and say no, we need to unite.
Even now, there's a remnance of it. Even now, when you look at some of the comedy show, they say Africa versus Jamaica.
Yeah, Wahala.
And I was like, really?
But I get that now because you see, they've figured out like, hey, you know what? This here is for the culture, and because we're all united to some extent. Because even if you look at one of the main name,
is the part of embracing it. They are embracing the.
No, even the best part of it is the name of it is Wahala. Wahala means problems in Pidgin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? It's not in Accra though, is it?
I think it's
Nigerian. It's Nigerian Pidgin
terminology.
Yeah. But you see how But then again, I always say Nigerians, as per usual, as soon as Nigerians come into any situation, they will own it. They will own it. There's the only people I know that
they are very, I was a Ghanaian, we have this running joke about the jollof rice and stuff like that. Yeah. But for me,
Hold on. Now that you brought it, actually, I've been meaning to find someone to talk about this thing.
Or the jollof rice.
Yeah, because what's with you guys on this jollof rice?
Do you know what? I'm not really big.
Please enlighten me.
I'll educate you after he finishes.
I think it's just an icebreaker thing where we're just trying to like banter each other.
Yeah.
But I've tasted some really good Nigerian jollof rice.
Yeah.
And I've tasted some really good Ghanaian jollof rice.
Yeah.
It depends who's cooking it. I don't think it depends on the
always. But the thing is, the interesting thing is, Jollof doesn't come from either country.
Yeah,
is it from
the Jollof people, isn't it?
It comes from the Wolof people.
Yeah. Oh, it's Wolof people.
Yeah, Wolof.
Jollof
no,
people.
the Wolof. No, you see why he said the Jollof. So the Nigerians couldn't say Wolof. They used to. That's how it came up as Jollof.
Yeah.
But it's from the Wolof people, which are Senegambia.
Yes.
So that's the Senegambia people, Wolof.
Yeah.
Wolof. And if that's where the best Jollof is.
Have you tasted it?
Oh, my friend. Listen.
Yo,
if you get a Gambian or Senegalese person to cook you some rice.
Yes.
Even just normal rice. They don't just do things on a normal. They cook it with real flavor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like there's some people. But the one thing this is the thing that I found very interesting as well.
But Gambia is inside Senegal, yeah?
It's part of it is most of Gambia is covered by Senegal. Yeah, so it's only got the part open towards where the ocean is.
Ocean,
yeah. But you see, the interesting thing about it is because if you look at West Africa, it's only two countries that speak English in West Africa.
The Nigerians and the Ghanaians.
Nigerians and Ghanaians, and then you got Cameroon, but Cameroon is between two places because most of Cameroon should have been Nigeria really, because there's still the same kind of people in the same region. If you want to talk about countries that have been brought in, because Cameroon is the only country that has 2 Independence Days. It's got 2 Independence Days from English and French. However, if you even look at the football team, as a football man now, interesting that we said let's carry on talking. As a football man now, as a football person, when you look at a Cameroon shirt, everything is in French.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, because mainly played by the mainly. You think the mainly speak French.
It's mainly the French that speak. Even the players are mainly French, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, but then you're talking about a country
that
speak
French and they're not French.
Yeah, they all speak. Yeah, but here's the interesting part, because when you look at it, the country has 2 languages, European languages, should we say, which is English and French.
Yes.
But then French is the one that really makes sure it dampens down on the English side of it.
Dominates, yes.
But when you look at West Africa now, this is one thing I always say. If you look at West Africa now, apart from that division of Cameroon, if you look at the borders between Nigeria and Ghana, it's about 2 or 3 countries in between, isn't it?
We've got Togo, we've got Benin.
Yeah.
What's the other country we've got?
So they all speak
Togo,
French.
Benin, they all speak French.
Especially
Togo is probably the main one. If you look at Dubai, you know, the whole part is almost closer to Nigeria than it is to Togo. That's it. Yes.
So you when you look at the time of slavery or colonization, whatever you want to call it, when you look at it, when they were taking control of this place, they already knew how they were going to eat their food. They already knew their food, how they were going to eat it very well. You know what I mean? There's about 2 or 3 countries in between them. Yeah. So if you think about it, the times
Benin and Togo really.
So Benin. So if Nigeria was to fight back towards against the British system, they wouldn't have been able to do it without the UK knowing something's not right, because you can't go to Benin because they speak French. So they've already broken that. And then in Ghana, if Ghana was to try and do something else on the other side, they can't go anywhere else because the message doesn't get past. Yeah. Literally, I always look at it and say, so divided.
The design was incredible, how they designed it, and it still stands till this day.
Because even when you look at it, what's this country? When we look at Kenya, what's around Kenya is Uganda, and Kenyans don't respect Ugandans, and Ugandans don't respect Kenyans to that perspective. It's down to the same thing. But then the reason why Kenyans will always look down on everybody else on the East African side, apart from Tanzania, because Tanzania as well, their English is not the best.
Okay.
But the Swahili is what they all speak, so the interaction is quite level-headed. But when you come to Uganda doesn't speak Swahili, so it's like, it's a great area. But then you come up to where this, what's the lake? Victoria. Yes. It's interesting how the lake is called Victoria, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the same thing. You know, the one is, Victoria Falls, because that's called Moshiwatunya.
Yeah, the one in Zimbabwe.
That's Victoria Falls.
Yes.
That's the actual name of it. Moshiwatunya, which means the water that smokes or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting name.
Oh wow.
Towards how we recognize it as Lake Victoria. Come on, get it back to the same place. It's the same thing as Nyahururu Falls.
Yeah.
What do they call it?
Thompson Falls.
Look at that.
What do they call it?
Thompson Falls.
Thompson as in
Thompson. Yeah, Thompson. But he says it in the Kenyan way because Kenyans. Kenyans always pronounce every single letter.
Okay. What is it called?
Thompson, not Thompson. No.
Thompson Falls.
Thompson, I'll be like, who's that?
No. It's the same thing. Yes. There's that fall up there. It's called. Yes. They call it Nyahururu Falls, but it's Thompson Falls.
Yes.
Like these names have stuck.
I suppose when you're talking about culture and discrimination, in Ghana, it's the same. I think in the whole African continent, it's always the same. Traditionalists and traditions and tribes. That's the word. That tribes always have conflict. I'm Ashanti, and we are the biggest
braggers.
Yeah,
because I got my hair cut. The guy that cuts my hair, same one. Yeah, he's the same one. Ghana. He cuts my hair. He's the one I always talk about his music. That's how actually we met each other.
Yes.
But because of him, when he says that, I said, "I'm an Ashanti man."
Yeah, we are Ashanti man.
You'll be sitting there thinking, "Oh my God."
We're very proud people.
Yeah, that's the best word to use.
But we're very, very proud people. But come to just to deviate from that. About 3 years ago, I came to find out that actually the Ashantis were very huge in the transatlantic slave trade. So they were actually selling slaves to the Portuguese and mainly to the Portuguese and the English. But then they came to realize when they were selling them, they thought they were not being treated as bad as they were until they found out. In terms of the Ashanti, when we had when there was a war, they will capture them, and then we will use them as slaves, but they'll be like house help and workers and stuff. But when they found out when they came to the Americas, how they were being whipped and how they were being treated, they then felt really bad. But my people were part of the slave trade, and that took me back for almost about 2 years. I was really like, wow.
It broke your heart.
It broke my heart. I can feel so to everyone that's affected, on behalf of my Ashanti people, we apologize. So I'm still continuously apologizing.
So that's the reason why in Brazil. Do you know something? Do you reckon that you've got some relations born today who are in some of these,
of course,
like Brazil?
Of course.
So you go there and then you find your sister, your cousin or something, or
down your bloodline. Of course, we all have.
That's interesting, huh?
Remember, the first human was found in
Africa,
Kenya. It's Kenya, isn't it?
I thought it's Kenya or Ethiopia. One of the two.
It's Kenya. That's why Kenya says that now you can go in.
The cradle of mankind.
They've opened up the visa. You can travel into Kenya. Just pay for your visa, and anybody, doesn't matter where you're from.
That's a place I need to come to Kenya.
You're supposed to come.
I need to come. I need to make that happen.
Now we got business going on there, so we've got to get enact with certain things.
I'm looking forward to Kenya because it's a place that I think. The connection will be part. I'm a spirit, as you know, and I'm a very spiritual person. So I like to go to a place where there's culture. Funny enough, I had a friend. My brother just went to Morocco, Agadir.
Oh that's a boring place.
Yeah, and I was like, so what do you do? Oh, yeah, we stayed in a resort. And I'm like, what's up with people from UK? Go on holiday and they stay in resort. You should go and immerse yourself in the culture of the people. Go to where
Morocco. That's how I envision my holidays.
That's how it should be.
If I get to travel even in these white countries, I'm expecting to go and live and experience that whiteness. You
will be surprised when you travel. You'll be surprised. The thing is, you'll be surprised because how you see it. It's not how you're gonna see it now when you start traveling. You know that. Because I came to this understanding now the other day. I was in Morocco. Let's start with Morocco before we get into this one. Yeah, Morocco. The leathers.
Yes.
You know how they dye the leathers in Morocco?
No, I don't.
They use the pigeon poo.
Oh, really?
They use pigeon poo. So they've got a place. That's what I was saying to you. When I go places, I want to learn what the places are about before I go into the hotel resort, blah, blah, blah. Because when you go there, what are you going to learn?
Yeah.
Nothing. You're just sitting there drinking, and probably the resort is going to be one of those all-inclusives and all of these things.
Yes.
However, Morocco, the reason I say Agadir is boring, my friend has been to, he's been to Morocco, but he's been Agadir because of work.
Okay.
And he was like, man, this place is so boring. There's no clubs, there's no this, there's no the other. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah, man, Agadir is nothing. There's nothing going on. But I know there's a part of Morocco where I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, no ways. This is actually it talks about the history of the history of Morocco. Not the history of Morocco. It talks about the history of the birds. So when they get the leathers and they use a pigeon poo,
yes,
to actually dye it or somewhat. And it's if you see how it's all positioned up, placed for people to be for them to be able to market it and get it out the way. I'm thinking, this is quite interesting because I've never ever thought about how his leather dyed. I've never thought about it before.
Now I would have probably thought they'll put it into like a leather paint or something like that.
You would think so, but they use that pigeon poo somehow, some way to actually.
So how did they use it to get different colors and then?
No, that part I don't know. I just know that they use that to do something with.
I suppose it's quite.
I think to clear or something. Yeah.
So I suppose
actually, I'll even Google it as we're talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something I was looking at. I was like, oh damn, okay. But then when you look at it, you're like, okay, that's one thing.
Yes.
But now the other thing is when you travel into some parts of the world now, like I was in I've been to Germany a few times. However, I was in Germany in Dusseldorf.
Yes.
That was about a couple of years ago. I say a couple of years ago. It's probably about 2 or 3 years ago. But I was in Dusseldorf and I seen some black guys and I thought, perfect. Excuse me, can you help me with something? The guy looked at me, goes, no English. And I looked at him, I said, excuse me. I looked at my friend, I said, man, this world is changing in a different way, because I was looking, I was like, these guys are black guys in Germany. They don't know nothing but German. And I started looking at it, I was thinking, even when you look at some of the football teams that's popping up from, like the French team, for example, that's a whole African team.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, speaking of which, the Olympics are going on, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
They showed,
it's today, isn't it?
Yeah, they showed the French national team was playing. So they were showing like the bench, the technical bench,
Yes.
the subs, the reserve team, and then the first 11.
Yes.
Guess who's missing in the lineups? Or even the bench? There's no white person. No.
Really?
Trust me.
Wow.
I think it's only one or two.
Do you know, there's a conversation actually, it came to my mind the other day. And I think,
I was
do you guys think the white race is actually
Facing
diminishing?
out? Yeah. Personally, yes. I get it, and I get that's what.
It's not diminishing. How can it diminish? You got to remember, you're in Europe. You got to remember, that's one. You're in Europe. Everybody else has come from somewhere else. It's just the same way. You as a black person, you come here immigrant, basically.
Yes.
But when you're in Africa, in some places, white people coming in there, settlers.
Yes,
That's the situation it's in.
Yes.
However,
Language.
it's in sports. It's in sports that black people tend to win.
No, but if you look at the birth rate and...
I'm not speaking about sports alone.
Oh yeah, no, that's another thing.
I'm not speaking about in sports. In sports, it's already clear.
Yes.
We can't argue about that.
Even the Euros, there were
so many.
I think Ghana had the second most African players that could have qualified to play for Africa.
Yeah.
Or for Ghana
But
in the Euros. The Spanish boy, Nico Williams. He's Ghanaian. His brother played for Ghana.
Oh
his
yes,
older brother in the Yaki played for Ghana.
The way they migrated,
yeah. So,
yeah.
I get it why these white supremacists are out here on social media, because if you go on X, like there's this going back to the earlier story.
How do you spell pigeon? Sorry.
P-E-G.
And there's an I in there somewhere.
I-U-E-N.
Carry on.
So, going back to the earlier story about the Manchester incident, you saw the video of the police officer stamping there. If you see at the kind of comments online that these white supremacists are putting out there, I kind of get it from, like as someone who holding like your race to heart. I get it. I get where the pain comes from.
Yes.
But then that still doesn't say or doesn't justify any actions about harming other tribes or other people.
Yes.
As a matter, as a way of you guys protecting your own tribe. It doesn't sit well with me, and it hurt me. The thing that hurt me the most is that there was this MP in the UK in the National Assembly, outside the National Assembly. He was speaking and he said that he would give the officers who did the actions that they did, he would give them a medal. And I was like, this is heartbreaking, because it doesn't matter who you are as a police officer. It doesn't. You should just make sure that the situation is diffused. Everyone is handled well. But then that was so uncalled for.
Yes.
Like any moment, I remember that the kicks that the guy was giving to the Muslim guy who was lying on the ground.
Yes. That's why they dye the leather. But they pick up pigeon poo and stuff. But I can't spell pigeon for some weird reason. The way you're all spelling it, I know it's wrong. You ever get like that sometimes in life? You're like, oh, how do you do this, man? This is such a common sense.
The one that tricks me sometimes, mortgage. The word mortgage.
Yeah, mortgage. Yeah. No, but even most English. Mad. Because you were saying, like we were saying Thompson, and you said Thompson. Yeah. There's some words when you look at them and you colonel.
Colonel.
See?
How you say it?
Colonial.
See what I mean?
So the Kenyan literally pronounce
they go for letter, man. I remember somebody.
Colonial.
Because bruv, the best one is I've used this on Tables Chronicles a few times.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody I told him, I said, I was in Chiswick, and he started laughing, and he goes, yeah, I know where you're going with this one, because I said Kenyans want to pronounce every single letter of it. You know how to spell Chiswick?
Chiswick.
Yeah.
Spell it for me.
CHI
S
WI. Yeah.
Chiswick.
I tell you. Chiswick. That's Chiswick. It's Chiswick.
No, it's Chiswick.
It's Chiswick, man.
That's really good. I like that. And you see, that's just the beauty of like cultures and experience and everything. Because
cool.
Chiswick. Yeah, I like that.
That's Chiswick. There's some words I was like, but because every single letter counts in Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We talked about vowels.
But then you say that, but it is also there's a part of Kenya whereby L and R don't mix.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Like, that from where his mother comes from.
Yes.
They cannot say
Roberts.
Yes. They cannot say
Never.
What would they say then?
Anything that has R and L, wherever there is an L, do not say you are in. Give me a word that has an R in it.
He said an L.
Yeah, an L.
Yeah,
just an L, like pronunciation.
London.
Let them in.
Yeah, you don't say London.
What would you say?
London.
What would you say?
Yes, Akorandan.
Yes,
Akorandan.
Akorandan means they're in London.
They're in London.
Akorandan.
Right now. Yes, they're in London right now.
That is mad.
Sorry, excuse me. You guys carry on. I'm coming.
But then, when it comes to the R,
yes.
they can, if a word has R, they'll put it on L.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So just anyone that has an raise, let's say raise.
Yes.
You are raised right. No, you are less light. No, but now that's not his tribe. That's another tribe. They're called Kambas. We are all Bantus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm a Marian. He's Kikuyu. There is Kamba. We are all Bantus.
Yes.
Speaking the same language, almost only different dialects. You get it?
Yes,
different dialect, same language, different dialects.
Yes.
So the Kambas have a problem with they replace the R with the L. The Kikuyus replace the L with the R.
Oh, okay, so they're going backwards.
Yes, the Marians kind of mix and match. We kind of put here this time this, put it,
Yes.
Yeah, we kind of mix and match. But then now the Kambas will say, you are not less light. You are not less light. Meaning, you are not raised right.
Oh, raised. And they say what? Lace.
Yes, you are not less light.
Oh. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, so it's I like the diversity in that comes.
Well, it makes it more interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
He's up there, he's eating. He's having his McDonald's.
No way.
That's what I'm telling you, man.
He used my money to go and buy McDonald's. It's like the kryptonite to you know what I mean?
The Naira boss.
Yeah.
But it's a generational thing.
He's actually done he's done the second time he's done my son Tristan. Yeah.
He's done it.
He's the second time.
He's done it
twice. And he's the one who's always asking me to do, like, nags me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't have time to get kind of to make sure you're okay. He literally does it, and he's like, he said he feels lighter when he does it.
You gotta give them that leeway whilst they're growing, because when they get to a point, you will never give them that opportunity. You'll be like, no, thank you.
Yes,
that's it. But we were talking about names. Sorry, I got a bit interrupted. Your son's name is Tristan.
Yeah.
Even my nephew's, it will be a grandnephew. My nephew, we're about this. We're not too far in age.
Yes.
But his son is also he has a son called Tristan as well. But now, in my people, to say that name Tristan.
What would they say?
How would even Cliston?
Also, they'll remove the T.
The R is a problem. The R is gonna be a problem of pronunciation for it, because it's Tristan.
Tristan.
Yeah.
So Tristoni.
It sounds like Italian. It sounds like Italian,
He
man.
will come up with a
Tristan, okay.
There's some names you just look, you say, and then you know another problem we also have is you.
Yeah.
Because our U's are pronounced as a O.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah. Because even on the channel.
Yes, like our boy.
Yeah.
You say our boy, but it's one boy.
Yeah. It's spelled with a U.
With a U. So
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. The U's also have a bit of O pronunciation. And when you, even in the writing, the U has the whatever on the top of it. So even on the actual channel, when I was in Mount Longonot, the guy said to me, this is a Rion. Lord, I looked at him, I said, man, this one beats me. I said, it's a what? And I actually got the clip there. It says, it's a Rion. I looked at him, I said, man, Rion? What's a Rion, man? It's a Rion, lion. I said, bro.
So
I said, there's no way.
If I was with this brother, right, and there was a line behind me, and it's like, Rion, I'd be like,
you're
what?
done.
I'll be dead.
Run?
Yeah,
done.
like, run. Yes, I run.
You wouldn't even say run to you, you say land.
Ring on?
You say Rion. No, I got the clip on them, and it's like, what the flipping hell? Because even when I got there, I say, yeah, you know what? But because I know Rion would make sense.
Yes.
But when he said Rion, I said, okay, how did he come up with it? Then I realized he was pronouncing it letter for letter, but with the pronunciation.
Yes.
And that's where he goes in. You're thinking,
mad.
Lord have mercy,
mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very interesting though.
It's quite bizarre.
Now there's another tribe, the lakeside people.
Yes.
These are now like the Ashanti and these Nigerian guys are called
Yoruba.
The Yoruba,
yes.
like now your cousins. Yeah?
Yes.
The Ashanti and the Yorubas are cousins in a way.
Yes.
And now their cousins in East Africa are like the Luo.
Oh, okay.
The Barack Obama, basically.
The Barack Obama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So these guys, they have they have a pronunciation with an S. They have problem with an S.
Also, all of your cultures, every culture,
I'm guessing
every tribe, should I say,
Yes.
got language problem with certain letters, then.
Yes.
Which is unique.
When it comes to them, they have trouble like pronouncing certain words. Like it's hard for them to say succeed.
Yes.
Should we succeed? You know.
This is funny. This is incredibly funny.
They have these. It's a unique thing. Once you learn these different differences that these different tribes have, you embrace them, and it's a unique thing. But then and that's what pains me, you know, the fact that this thing, I've seen it dividing my grandparents. Yeah.
Why?
When
so?
my grandparents were voting, before Kenya became
independent.
Before Kenya became one republic.
Open party.
Yeah, before 1982, there was still voting in Kenya. Before then, and I saw it being used on my grandparents. Like from how I've heard stories from their generation, it was used against them. Oh, this tribe. Don't vote for this person because it's from this tribe. It doesn't matter what idea they have.
I'll tell you what's even crazy. Because I've come to, but I never knew my father.
Yeah.
I only met him 2 or 3 times in my whole life. So when he even died, you know who buried him? Former President Moi Kibaki. Daniel Arap Moi.
Yeah.
Is the one that buried him. I said, Moi Kibaki. Lord have mercy. Oh, those are 2 different presidents in 2 different. That's a whole different perspective. But Kibaki is a president I admire in Kenyan politics. But Arap Moi is who buried my father. My father was, because he was, I don't know what, I didn't even know, they probably were related to some extent or something along that line. But he was given a state funeral. Now, his first son, my father's first son now, he was given the name Killer of the Nandi.
Killer of the Nandi.
Yeah. But the translation of his name is the killer of the Nandi. I say, God damn, man. That's what they named you. I say, yeah. And they took him a couple of weeks before they named him.
Oh, wow.
I said, man, that's quite interesting.
And it's a Nandi
because this is somebody I
don't like.
No,
I think they had
father's tribe now.
No, I think they had an issue with each other.
Okay.
At some perspective, because when he was telling me, he was given the name Killer of the Nandi, I said, God damn.
Wow.
Like literally, that's the name you were given, and that's after them moving him around and showing him around, blah blah blah. I said, you know what, this world is quite crazy, and I see craziness more in Kenya because Kenya is the one I spend time studying and learning. But I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, you know what? As much as I spend time learning this side of Kenya, there is also another side. Only God knows what's going on in Mali, what's going on. South Africa will be a place that will be an interesting subject now to cover. South Africa, because South Africa there's a city in South Africa which is trying its best to just have white people in it.
Oh yes.
It's called
I heard about him recently.
Orion. It starts with an O.
Really?
But, yeah.
Which is almost like against the law because the law is apartheid is now abolished. So basically, they want to create another small apartheid, which is backwards thinking, really.
A small town of whites.
But the one thing I will say,
if you want that, then come back to Europe.
No, I will say no. I will say one thing. The one thing is they have perfected safety of people. Because that's the one problem with South Africa is safety. And that's the problem when Africans, I always say Africans, we can complain how much we want to complain. But the fact of the matter is what's the safety rate in some of these places? Why are some of the issues, especially South Africa to be exact, why are some of the issues going on in this country? This is stupidity. Rape is just a casual thing. Robbing people, stealing and killing people is nothing. Like he's got to that point, and then gang. They praise gang. You've seen the documentary with what's his name, Ross Kemp, when he does the gangs of South Africa, and they've got the gangs who calls themselves the Americans and the numbers gang. You see, and you're looking at these guys, you're thinking, really and truly, how has the country got to this point?
I suppose lack of opportunity is one of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because where they came from is where they are now, and if you look at the wealth, even within the smallest minorities hold their largest wealth in South Africa.
Yeah.
Which also play dynamics in it, and also for what they've been through, it would take them generations to reprogram. It's almost down in was it Stockholm syndrome they call it?
Yeah, in love with the kid.
Where
the reason why, that's why I always put my stuff as kidnapper because of that Stockholm syndrome, because they fell in love with the robbery. You know about Stockholm syndrome?
Explain it to me.
Stockholm syndrome is these guys. It happened in Stockholm. They went to rob a bank, and as they went to rob a bank, the people who were being kept hostage had mercy on the robbers. So that's how Stockholm syndrome came in. That's what Stockholm syndrome is. Is you have mercy on the person who has come in to rob you. To some, that's exactly where it stands. So every time I started doing that when I was doing my music and my rapping and all of that, I used to say, hey, kidnapper, man. And somebody even goes, you can't just go with that. I said, trust me, Stockholm syndrome is there for a reason. I like to be a controversial person. Yes. You see what I'm saying? Because controversy pays.
Push the envelope.
You got to push it up to the edge and see how far you can get with it. You see what I'm saying?
I see.
You got to push it as far as possible because if you don't, you'll never know.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Because you sit down and the one thing is nobody wants to sit like a donkey. Even us, we came in with a full plan of conversation. Yeah. But we've gone around. There's been a whole bunch.
I think we're going to talk about Trump, won't we?
Geez, that's another. Do you know what? I think he will be the next president of the US.
Honestly, the Kamala Harris has no.
Nah, she ain't got nothing.
Ain't got nothing.
She ain't got nothing.
Trump.
And do you know what?
Trump has won this one, honestly.
Yeah, but I think because of the assassination, it's made more people like thinking, why did they want to take him out?
No, but listen, that assassination, was it a real assassination though?
Well, that's another conversation on its own.
Because have you ever shot a gun before?
The thing is,
have you ever shot a gun before?
No, I've never shot a gun personally. Have you shot a gun?
Yeah.
How so?
This is me.
That's another story.
No.
But let's go. Why then do you have doubts?
No, because I've been to a gun range. I've shot a gun before.
Yeah.
I've seen, because even in the movies, the way he got that shooting looked like a pre-planned shooting of a movie. Even the way it sounds, doesn't sound like a gun, man. Nah, that doesn't sound like a gun, man. If you show a proper gun, there's an enforced, because even in Hollywood movies, the way that you see somebody coming in with a pistol that is gonna shoot, and then you need your two hands, man. Because if you use one hand, the recoil will make you move back. Even if you're strong as ever, your hands, there's gonna be some form of pushback.
The recoil, yeah.
Recoil is a big thing. That's in fact, there's even one particular gun. Have you seen it? I think have you seen it? The Arab shooting a gun.
No.
There's one clip on YouTube where there's an Arab shooting a gun, and literally the recoil on that. But it's only one white guy that came in there, and he goes, "Now let me show you how you do this," and he positions himself and he pulls it, because even the Arab guy, the turban comes off because the recoil is so bad. Yes. He drops it, he's like, "Oh," and as he's doing all of that, he's like, "Oh, what's going on there?" But the white guy comes in and goes, "Let me show you," and he comes in, he positions himself, he goes, "Boop, no problem." It's a thing.
So you think it was staged?
I think so. And being is Trump, because you know Trump in business is a good guy.
Yeah.
In business,
that's
but
the thing.
He supported something that I thought, bro. If I was to ever have a conversation with him, it would be a good conversation, because I want to know, why did you support those? You know, the New York the New York 5. Is it New York 5? They were innocent.
Yes. The black youth.
Yeah. They were innocent. They was innocent, and he pushed out to advertise that they were guilty of the rape. But they didn't commit the rape, but they were the only black people who did it, and that thing has scorned those kids.
America is a place that, have you noticed, I don't normally like to touch it, because
it's an interesting place.
It's a place that you just wanna for your sanity, you need.
It's like the experiment of the world, like that's where democracy is tried and tested. Then,
but is it really democracy though?
Yeah,
I was watching something about how they vote. It's to do with not the popular vote, but it's to do with they've got another word for it. The people who actually make the real vote count. So Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but Trump won the electoral college. Yeah, that's it.
The electoral college.
So which I find it quite confusing. Anyway,
I also don't get how the electoral college thing. Election kind of system.
That's why I never talk about politics.
Yes.
Even on my Tables Chronicles, we brought up Trump's name came up briefly, but I said, you know what, I don't talk politics, because you know what, it's what you want to vote for. Feel free to vote for it. However, but I do see one thing with Trump becoming president: all these loans that these African presidents have been getting ends. Because Trump is pushing that whole American narrative as high up as possible. But the thing is, he's a businessman, because I remember watching him once upon a time, and he had a tie, and he says, yeah, this tie is his company and everything else. It's all American, blah, blah, blah. And the guy goes to him, yeah, but it's made in China. And I said, you know what? This is the thing about this guy. He's an interesting character. You know what I'm saying? Because even Mike Tyson even says it. A lot of his career money came because of Trump.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, you know what, Trump knew how to use you to gain money.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? He's a businessman, man. He's an interesting guy, man, altogether.
His shooting was interesting, and what happened to Biden, is it stepping down?
Yeah.
It's also an interesting one. But even back home in Ghana, we've gone through our election. We're going to be voting in November.
Oh yeah, is it November as well?
This November, we're going to be voting. So, and the current administration is fighting hard to hold power, but it's not going to hold. I think. And there's a new young man on the scene called Nana Kwame Bediako. They call him Cheddar Man.
Cheddar Man.
Yeah, Cheddar. His name is.
Is that Money Man?
Yeah, he's got money. And he's more targeting the youth.
Yeah.
Likelihood of him winning is gonna be slim.
Yeah.
But he's something.
He's gonna create something.
Yes,
so
and he started something. And the youth are now in. And the beauty of social media is they're so connected that they see what's going around the world.
Yeah.
So now you can see the Ghanaian youth are no longer buying, politicians, there's election coming, I'm going to give you money, vote for me. Yeah. They're like, no. You know, there's some instances where...
It's no longer John.
No, there's even instances where some politicians are going to their constituent, and the youth are not letting them in. They block the road and say, you're not coming in. You're not crossing here because you haven't fixed the road, you haven't done nothing, you want to vote.
You see, in Kenya, there was this MCA. he was told, yo, get out of your car. Pass through this road. It was a muddy road. He was told, you've not been lobbying for this road to be made for a while. And you're coming here to pass with your like 4x4? No.
It will
just
change.
Get out of the car. Walk.
It will change. I see optimistic in a lot of African youth, and I think a lot of us are still thinking, oh, it's like Kenya.
No, the fight
was the
Gen Z's, the Gen Z. Yeah, but I always say, because Gen Z and Gen Z, which one is it?
Question, right? yeah. Question. Do you think, I know there's going to be another world war, because the way the world is going.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be with weapons, or do you think it's going to be with Wi-Fi? Internet.
Wi-Fi.
To be honest with you,
because that's going to be more powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Wi-Fi. Because you know what? With weapons, well, you know why I say Wi-Fi? With even when you put the everyone together and say have a war, they get a PlayStation and they will tell you how to shoot properly. But you give them a real weapon.
Yeah.
Because I respect the guns. I was in a gun range, and I've been to 2-3 times.
Yes.
But every time I've been in the US, I've always ended up going to a gun range. It's interesting feeling when you actually go in there. You kind of get it because you understand why some of these people want the guns and stuff, especially with the US.
Yes.
Not that we're even going to talk about this, but
yes.
I understand why they're so eager to make sure they own these things.
Yes.
But for me, I even say you've got to be ultimately stupid to know that you can go into that house and that person can shoot you for his rights, to protect his own property, and you're going to go there and steal. You're an idiot. To put it in the street where you're a dickhead. And you know, dickhead is another version of saying kehe.
Yeah.
you know that's
Well, last time I was trying to last time I was talking to you, you said the word and I started laughing. I was trying to like tutu, and I was like,
no.
That tutu's like you know what I mean, sort of thing. You know what I mean? It's like you get me, sort of thing, like tutu.
It's been a long time.
What is the real definition of tutu? It's like you know what I mean. It's like
you get it. You get it.
Tutu, you know, or like I'm trying to say something serious here. When you said that, I started laughing.
That's proper. That's when you know you're proper talking proper street lingo.
You're proper in London now. You know what I mean? Proper London.
You're proper in London.
You said it and I'm like, bro, I've been hearing that for God about 19 years. I've been hearing that word.
Even when you said it to me, I was like, I don't know how that came out of me at that time, but it did do. But you know, that's the thing. But you see, that's what I was saying to you. The beauty of traveling and seeing the place. When you start doing it, man, you'll be calling us back and say, you know, I think we'll have to set up a WhatsApp group between the three of us, and you'll be like, yeah, I was in Spain and I saw this.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because you know, there's a part of Spain or Portugal. There's a part of Spain or Portugal, the one that it shows you where you can drive towards Algeria.
Yeah. That must be Portugal.
I think it's Portugal.
It's Spain. Spain is closer
I think both of them have it actually. No, it will be Portugal.
Spain is closer to Morocco. Then Algeria is closer to Portugal.
So did they use obviously the ship to cross or?
Yeah, the ship obviously. Yeah. You think they haven't built no tunnels. They haven't put no tunnels yet.
They must swim there. But I'm surprised how they keep making this excuse that they can't build a bridge for Africa and Europe to connect.
No, because of the ships.
Well, you know what? The craziest thing is this. No, I think that water. I wouldn't trust it personally. But I will say, because you know, Spain has an enclave, as they would call it, in Africa.
It's called a department.
It's an enclave. That's basically what it is.
The same thing. Even Portugal has a department in Africa.
No.
They're supposed to be. They're supposed to be. These are islands.
It's not an island.
Yeah.
It is off Morocco. There is a part that's off like this, which is Spain.
That's what I'm telling you. It's not. They call it Department of Spain. It's not like a part of the country Spain.
Yes.
It's a department of Spain.
But everything is Spanish.
Yes. Do you get it?
And
the same thing.
If you migrate there, if you jump over and get on the other side, you have to deal with the European Union.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's in Africa. The same thing. They're about Cape Verde, almost.
Tenerife.
They're about
Tenerife, the islands, Tenerife.
Those islands, they are Portuguese departments.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are Portuguese. everything about them is Portuguese.
But they're in Africa.
But they're in Africa.
Yeah.
It's mad. And also another thing I've been as you can see, I reflect a lot, is a lot of Africans want to come to Europe. Obviously,
it's been advertised. It's been advertised very well.
Yeah, it's been advertised very well, and I'm almost thinking, I wish everyone could travel, especially Africa, to come to Europe to experience it. Because the ones who are here now.
No, you see.
Question to you.
Yeah.
How have you found it since you come to England?
You know what? Now this brings me to playing the devil's advocate to the argument that I had for these white guys all about protecting their
jobs.
themselves.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes. I just brought my chair down. I was gonna hear this one.
So as I was saying, these white guys came to Africa.
Europeans.
The Europeans, yeah.
English, French.
All these Europeans, I don't care.
Germans,
all
Portuguese.
of them, they came to Africa.
Apart from Russians.
Yeah, they came to Africa, took some Africans, spread them across the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
You go to North Korea, you'll find some blacks there who don't even know how they got themselves there.
North Korea?
There's some blacks who are also in Japan because after the World War, once the World War was happening, there are some black guys who were taken to Japan to fight there, and they have since then they are still there. You get it. The black community is spread out across the world because of these white.
I know South America is the one that I know. Wow.
Yeah.
It's huge.
But the one that really baffles me, and I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Argentina. Because Argentina does not even
have a black. Yeah, they don't have a lot of black.
They've got them, but they don't show them. Even look at their football team, man.
Well, I've got a lot of. There's a lot of them there, though.
It's a black community, and they're all coming in from Ghana.
I'm gonna research.
Oh, there's a big community of black people.
Argentina,
and then there's also
they've come under criticism lately because of their racist.
Yeah, the racist. They're crazy on racism.
Once they won the.
Because it's funny because you got Brazil and Argentina closer to each other.
Yeah.
But Brazil national team, football team,
mainly
blacks.
Yeah.
But Argentina, you're right.
Argentina, you never see. You never see.
A black player play Argentina,
and you will never see. All you see is people like Messi and Maradona, man. That's it.
But Maradona's a bit closer to that side.
Because he's because a lot of Argentinians see themselves as Italian.
Yes,
that's another thing. A lot of them see this. So as much as they speak in Spanish, Italy is one of the countries that they really admire the most. But there's also a Kenyan community in South America, interesting enough, from the Kamba.
Really?
Yeah. From the Kamba. Sorry to interrupt what you were saying.
So, as I was saying, these guys, they looted Africa.
Yes.
As last time on the pod, you were speaking about the Congo and Belgium, what Leopoldo has been doing to, and the Belgian people have been doing to Congo all this while.
Yes.
As I feel as blacks and as Africans, this is the extreme side of my argument, as a black.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, I'm supposed to be neutral, but then I can't help myself also thinking from this extreme side at times, where that I'm like, I don't care what these guys say. They came to Africa. These guys are way developed because they stole all these resources from Africans.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't care what these guys think. I'm encouraging more Africans to come here,
of course,
make more use of these resources here, of these systems that these guys have built here. Let's go back, improve our areas, and just leave them with these systems now.
I think the key is for for us in the diaspora to actually start educating those who are back there and go back and start, which we are already doing anyway. But to some extent, we need to start getting people and start knowing that, listen, people, this is where life is. This is where our home is. Let's love each other, because that's the one thing that we need to practice.
Yeah.
We need to love each other. Yes. And you know what? The other thing is, because I've been seeing the Jamaican community is moving into Kenya at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's very good. And Ghana is already. It's already open. Rita Marley in the 90s. Yeah, she's opened that up that avenue. So it's an upcoming direction, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But one thing I will say, it's in Paraguay. You got the Kamba people in Paraguay.
Paraguay?
Yeah. There's the Kamba. This is a tribe of Kenya, man. You see what I'm saying?
English, a bit
it's never
weird
English.
From if the language is so weird from where his mom speaks, that's why the disparity in the name and the and the face.
It's like two different
two different worlds. Yeah.
I always look at it. I was like, because
do you know what? Yeah, I need to go to Kenya.
No, when you
guys are just, bro. I need to go on a plane.
Yeah, you're coming up.
Nah, seriously.
You're coming.
It's like just chatting to you guys now. I get this goosebump about. I need to touch my feet.
You see the nature.
I don't know why, but normally, like, I'll tell you guys a story, right? So this is just a quick one. I'm deviating.
Yeah.
So yesterday, there's this brother that I used to call. My background, I used to be retail store manager. So, there's this one of my old, I wouldn't say colleague, but he used to work for me. I went on Facebook. Someone is querying about Nara and how they can order it.
Yeah.
So I went on Facebook. As soon as I went on Facebook, his face just flashed up on my. He had a post, and it just flashed up on my on my screen.
Yeah.
And then something said to me, call him.
Yeah.
On video.
Yeah.
So I then pick up my phone and I call him straight on WhatsApp video. Yeah. And he's like, bro, you never call me on WhatsApp video at all. This man, I don't know what it is, but something just told me to call you. Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know how we are as Africans, I'm alright, everything's good. I'm like, nah, bro, you're not okay.
No, but let's be real,
You're not okay.
Cut the crap.
Nah, you're not okay. And then we start chatting, and all of a sudden the wife was in the background, keep talking something.
Yeah.
And last word I could hear the wife was, no, the thing I told you to call was right, because your brother is not right. I've been telling him to try and get his cholesterol down, and his diabetes is really high. I was like, oh. And then the wife, and I was trying to him about protein, because I'm doing some work about protein and how people always say if you eat meat, you get protein. But I've now got these different herbs I want to try.
Yeah, first of all,
but research I've done shows that it's got high protein intake. Yeah. Things like chickpeas, as we know, lentils. There's a plant called chivel. Parsley. What's the other one? Slip my mind. It'll come back to me in a minute. But yeah, there's a few herbs, and I'll send it to your kids so you can post it too. And I was chatting about protein thing I'm gonna do, and the wife is like, I've been telling him about protein for weeks. He's not listening to me. He's like, brother, you called him for a reason. I was like, and then my friend was just shocked on the phone. So we talking now about Kenya. I've just got this goosebump that I need to go to Kenya. I don't know why, but I need to go to Kenya. Welcome. I'm going to tell her I need to come. I need to go.
You should. Trust me.
And I'm going to make that my list.
Come and get your togetherness. You see the wildlife. You appreciate. Yeah. You'll be relaxed. You'll be relaxed for a little bit. And plus,
honestly, I'll put my Kenyan top on.
I just get your t-shirt. Yes. That's the thing. Because even me, anywhere I go, I just got my t-shirts and I'm like ready.
Do you know what? I had the bracelet, the Kenyan bracelet.
Yeah.
So far, since I came to London, now this 1 year down the line, I have had 3, and all of them have
been taken.
No, not taken. Like just.
Oh, broke off.
Yeah. They just got.
Which one are you getting? The finer one, or you getting the?
All of them are like they are sturdy, but then the thing is, I find myself in this awkward situation, like I'm wearing a hoodie, then it gets stuck. Then instead of me taking it slowly, I'm like,
you ripped off.
So mostly, by the time I do it 1, 4, 5 times, by the 7th time, it's already loose. It doesn't matter how strong it was.
Because
initially.
It wasn't built for you to wear hoodies. Why now? Yeah, like built for you to wear t-shirts.
I've been finding myself in this, like let's say I've gone to like take a shower or something, so I've taken it out. Okay.
Oh, you're the ones that you're getting are you haven't got the proper. Do you know the one?
Not the one that closes. Not the Maasai one.
That's why.
I'm not speaking about the Maasai one that closes and then opens.
No. You need to. The ones you're getting are not the ones made from fish. The fish wire, the fish wiring stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's the one. That one it doesn't break. You know the one that you struggle to put on your hand.
Yeah.
But once it's on your hand. It's fully on your hand.
But then the thing is, that's what I'm telling
unless you cut it.
The last one, I've been taking it off and on.
Yeah, no.
When I'm not going anywhere for like 3 days, I take it off. Then when I'm going somewhere, I put it on.
There's a particular one.
I've done it 3 times. I saw it stretching. Today in the morning, as I was preparing to come, I was like, let me just wear it as I come here. Put on my Kenyan brand, Tried to put it on.
Oh wow!
The one I will get you. The one I'm talking about, I'll actually get. I'll see if what's name can get one for you.
Yeah.
So that one.
Yeah, plug me one actually.
Because that particular one.
No, not one. Plug me 3.
Yeah, because that one.
Yeah, I just need one on backup and a backup for
that one doesn't.
He's missing home.
Yeah, but that's basically what it is.
He's missing.
You know,
I can almost sense from his spirit that he's missing.
November time. I'm hoping us will all be here so that we can look at him and say, "So how are you feeling today?" Because you know I was talking. So some people will be saying, "Oh, it's freezing in Kenya at the moment." I'm like, freezing in Nairobi at the moment. Okay.
What's the temperature? Like
in Nairobi? No, temperature is like 19, 20.
19, 20.
Yeah, they're saying it's freezing.
That's our summer here.
But, you know, it's a semi-arid land, isn't it? But at 12, in the nighttime, it gets like 12 degrees.
Oh, okay.
It gets cold.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't get to 12. When it gets to 12, it's extreme. Is extreme.
Ah,
wow.
Yeah. Normally,
but I know the
lowest in Nairobi it gets is 15 degrees.
Look at that.
15
and that person's complaining about winter when you're, but that's your summer.
Abnormally is 12 degrees, but then that's rarely.
Do Kenyans travel though? Compared to like Nigerians and Ghanaians, are you guys like travelers?
No.
I know Ivorians, the Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah,
they don't travel. They don't travel. Really? They love their country. They love their culture.
No, but they're in France mainly.
But there's not a lot of them. They don't normally travel. Like Ghanaians are in France, Germany, USA. We're everywhere. So is Nigerians. But as in Kenyans, you guys.
I think Kenyans
don't really travel.
No, they do.
No, we don't really travel is what I said. I didn't say we don't. Really traveling, we don't do it.
Like doing it out of fun? Nah.
Yeah, no, Kenyans...
going to work in a
Mostly, yeah. Mostly Kenyans travel because of work.
That's the only time Kenyans travel.
Oh, okay.
I suppose I've seen a lot of Ghanaians like traveling for fun.
Yeah, the ones with a bit of money.
In Kenya, because of the wildlife.
Oh, Nigerians love
in Kenya, because of the wildlife and because of the big tourism people coming in.
Yes.
Many Kenyans are not interested in
it. Kenyan itself is a tourist destination.
So you have people
it's hard for you to go outside there looking for other tourist destinations.
And it depends where you are in Kenya as well.
You know? Yes. But then that doesn't mean...
it's a beautiful country.
That doesn't mean you don't go out there because there's other things that's out there that we don't have in Kenya. But then the majority of people will not be traveling out there for tourism purposes.
Like, going for working opportunities.
Mostly work.
It's work. It's only work.
Mostly
and many people go into the Middle East. The Dubai, Qatar. That's where many Kenyans are going in to get general jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you look at Kenya, because if you want to see snow, you go to Mount Kenya. And if you wanna go and see another set of snow, Mount Kilimanjaro, which is now Tanzania. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to see a lion, you can go down here. You see a lion. If you want to see, like I was telling before, there's a hot water springs coming in from there's a particular place for that. So there's if you want the beach,
how do you call it, the Ibiza a sort of beach vibe, just go to Diani.
Yeah, you go to the coast.
Wow.
The white sand beaches that If you just want the normal beach, still Mombasa. Like
you can't do it for Kenya tourism, man.
Listen,
you saw me Kenya.
No. I've been saying this every time I talk about Kenya. I'm always telling people, just get up and go. It's just like we need the country to fix itself. The system get itself together, and trust me, people will be sitting down pretty and laughing because there is people who are living in. Chinese people are moving into Kenya now.
I always say, right, when you see foreigners, especially Chinese people, come into your country, it means that you need to pay attention because they are there for a reason.
No, they're there.
And they're there because they see something, and then you want to go to another country and go and struggle.
No.
But they are coming in to settle. And wherever they go, they always have a Chinatown.
There you go. You see?
Yeah, that's true.
In Angola, they've figured out Angola to its best now. In Angola, they've figured it out. And I think Chinese people have been in Kenya for, I could say the last 15 years is when they've really...
Yeah, because they came because of Thika Road.
So, the interesting thing, that Thika Road, the interesting thing about Kenya...
What is the Thika Road?
Thika Road is one of the... It's a highway that they built.
Okay.
It's a highway that was built by the former president, Kibaki.
Okay.
He passed away now. And he's the president that I kind of say, he's the one I give credit to in most Kenyan issues. But the thing I find very interesting is that he built that Thika Road was built, but if I was given the same opportunity to run presidency, I would be more interested in building the road to Mombasa, to the coast of Kenya, more than Thika Road. Because if you look at it, where does Thika go and what's going on in that side of Thika that's bringing in financial?
You have no idea.
Because it comes down when you look at the.
You have no idea. Like that in itself. That was you see, I want you to understand something. Nairobi, the way it's situated, Thika is its industrial town.
Okay.
Like, Thika is a town in itself outside of Nairobi, but then the fact that it's close proximity makes it the industrial part of Nairobi. You know, like if because the city is, they had envisioned that the city would grow, and right now the difference between Thika and Nairobi is it's barely negligible. People in Thika, it's like they're still in Nairobi. So, first of all, Thika Road serves Kiambu, the way to Kiambu. Kiambu in its own way. Kiambu in its own way. After Nairobi hosts 4 million people. Nairobi hosts 4 million.
And Nairobi is Maasai land.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It hosts 4 million people.
Maasai people, you mean? Yeah.
No. Like
it was
basically, it was theirs. But now, as you speak,
now is everybody else.
Everybody is there. In Nairobi, you'll find 4 million people in Nairobi. But then Kiambu hosts just close to. And this 4 million is like during the night. When I say 4 million, it's during the night. During the day, it's like 6 million people in Nairobi. Kiambu, during the night, it's like 3 million, 4 million. During the day, it's like 5 million.
Okay, so it's not close to population then.
Yes. They have very huge number of population. Then Thika Road in its own way has a lot of, brings in more revenue than Mombasa Road. That's not to mean that Mombasa Road is not huge. It's a very big, but then when you compare the two,
I'll tell you why I compare the two.
Thika Road brings in a lot more revenue.
What's Kenya's population?
50 to 55 million.
Okay,
50 to 55
quite
million.
big country.
Yeah. What's the Ghana population?
34 million.
Lord. So that means
so 33 million.
Wow.
that means Kenyans have been busy, innit?
Yeah.
And remember, Ghana is almost the same size as England.
Yeah.
Really?
On the map, it look. It's actually, it's not small.
What's
land mass wise.
What's the size of Ghana?
I don't know the land mass. I'll Google it and let you know.
I know for Kenya is 563 kilometers squared.
Miles.
563.
So you still say kilometers, huh?
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah. When you say kilometers, threw me off.
I
was about to say, I was on the miles.
That's what I was talking. Because Canada also uses kilometers, huh?
Yes.
But US uses miles.
Yeah, and then even France, in Europe, mainly it's kilometers.
Everywhere else, it's only 2 countries.
So
where is that?
The United Kingdom and the United States.
Ghana's area in kilometers squared is 238 kilometers squared. So let me put it in miles.
No, don't matter miles. Just you've said in kilometers as well.
92,000 square miles.
Okay, so I'll do.
So what's the UK?
So the UK one. UK is 94. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's how many countries?
Or the UK.
Yeah.
Well, UK was 4.
It's the whole UK.
So that's 4, isn't it? So you got Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you look at a world map, Ghana looks tiny. But then you look at the UK look like it's twice the size of Ghana. So they flipped it around. You know, Africa is the biggest continent on the planet.
Yeah, but then they try and tell you it's Asia.
But exactly, it looks the smallest. You know, the whole Russia, America, South and North, and mostly Europe will fit within Africa.
Let me tell you,
Kenya is 224.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, it's a big place, man.
That's huge.
That's why if you go there, you be there, you'll be like, oh. Because even I sit down, because my camera guy, Benson, even sits down, he tells me, man, you know, you are just a content guy, man. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, every single second, everything you do. But because some of the things that you question, I don't look at them like anything. And I'm like, bro, it's because I've traveled a little bit.
Yes.
So that opportunity to travel gives you the opening to the world to some extent. So I question certain things. You're like, not really this way. Because, like, tell you this, like, you do a trip, because you've been in London now.
Yeah.
Do a trip to Germany.
Yeah.
You will be very, very confused. First, you'll have to watch how you cross the road.
Yeah.
You'll have to watch how you cross the road, because before you know it, you'll have a car right by your leg.
Yeah.
You're wondering, it's the opposite side.
Yes.
You start looking the opposite direction. But you start learning that everything is in German, and they can speak in English, but they won't talk to you in English.
Yeah. They're quite stubborn like the French, isn't it?
But do you blame them? Because that's their culture and they want to...
But English is almost like now...
It's an international language worldwide.
The creators giving us this language that most, like I said, international. Most
it's the most. If
it wasn't for English, you and I wouldn't be communicating.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't.
Spoken language.
But that's why I was saying to you.
It's not.
It's
not.
I think Chinese.
Well, they were saying Portuguese, wasn't it? Because of wasn't it Spanish or Portuguese?
It's Mandarin.